are your streaks looking something like this? You go 3 days and then you relapse. But then you get up again and now you go 4 days only to relapse again. And so now you keep relapsing for 3 days in a row before you get up again and go 2 days this time. And again you relapse. Oh man. But after that you get up and this time you reach 6 days and you start thinking, hey, now I got my act together here. Only to relapse later that day again. Does this sound familiar to you? Well, if it does, the first thing I want you to know is that you are not alone, because this is actually the case for a lot of guys out there. Scandinavian Bob here, hi. Yeah, a real voice and person behind this video, who has been involved in the porn addiction community for 13 years now and helped hundreds of guys quit for good. So if you don't like all these fake AI videos out there, consider subscribing. So what do you do about it? Well, I'm not going to lie. This relapsing cycle can be a bit tricky to get out of, but it can be done. You can do it. And hey, by the way, I have been there myself, so it's not like I'm pointing any fingers here. I'm just going to tell you guys how it works and how to get out of it. Listen, the reason why it's tricky to get out of a relapse cycle is because each time you relapse, you break your own intentions. And if you do that enough times, you stop trusting yourself. You have now created an identity of that of a person who can't keep his intentions. And listen very carefully now, because here's the thing. The strongest force in the human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. That's right, your identity is the key driver of your actions. And since you now view yourself as a person who can't keep his words, you are automatically going to take actions that are in line with that. Because hey, that's just who you are. And so you keep relapsing. So what do you do about this? Well, you have to change your identity by stacking up small wins. You need to stop breaking your intentions if you're ever going to trust yourself again. And you do this by setting very small goals in the beginning. For example, if you can't even go a week, well, you could then set a goal for yourself to only do 3 days of NoFap. And then after you reach day 3, you can go ahead and fap to adult sites or whatever you want. And so now some of you say, no way, adult sites are unhealthy and 3 days is not going to do me any good at all. How can you even say that? God damn it, my goal is 90 days and I'm sticking to that. Well, how's that working out for you? If you can't even go 1 week, it's obviously not working very well. Look, a 3-day goal is not your end game. It's your first small win. And remember, in order to change your identity, you need to be stacking up those wins. If you set your goal to 3 days, you have a decent chance of reaching that, even if you have a weak identity right now. And if you then use adult sites the day after that, you didn't break your intentions because your goal was to reach 3 days, and that's how you start trusting yourself again. So maybe then after you have fapped for a day or 2, you now set a new goal of reaching 5 days. And wow, you managed to do that too. Well, now you have 2 wins under your belt. If you have been stuck in a relapse cycle for a long time, you need to start stacking up those small wins in order to start trusting yourself again. And you do that by setting microscopic goals like this, and then you build from there. Aim, win, identity reinforced. Aim, win, identity reinforced. That's going to be your recipe from now on. You have to understand that you need to stop breaking your intentions, because losing enough times creates a vicious cycle that leads to even more losses, and then you get stuck in that losing cycle. And if you're one of those guys who are stuck, I'm sure you know how that feels. In addition to start stacking up those small wins, I highly recommend you cut out social media and any dating apps you might be using for at least 1 month, or until you get the ball rolling. The same goes with aimless internet browsing. If you're stuck right now, you really need to give yourself a break from that. Limit your phone and internet use as much as possible. And if you now freak out about that, hey, it's not going to be for the rest of your life, but at least do it until you get out of the relapse cycle, so you can get the momentum going again. The longer you stay on this no porn journey, the more you will wake up to what porn has really stolen from you. But the good news is you can take it all back, and that's exactly why I created the 4-step
porn-crushing system. A proven system designed for men who are serious about quitting porn for good. After years of relapsing, experimenting and learning, I am proud to say I really figured it out. This system, my 4-step porn-crushing system, is built on the exact same principles that worked for me. Principles that have since then been refined and fine-tuned even further to help hundreds of men just like you break free from the grips of porn. I got this email from a guy named Mylan. Quote, "Hi Bob, I want to thank you for helping me with your no porn program. Best money I ever spent. I was so desperate at one time that I prayed to God to help me, and the next thing I know, I saw your program pop up on my YouTube. I bought it and followed the instructions. I am now 100 plus days in, and I love this stability because I have never ever felt better." Unquote. He also sent me a before and after picture, and I promised him to respect his privacy, so I'm not going to show those, but let me just say the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. Mylan's story is just one of many. Hundreds of men who found real, lasting success using this exact system. And this can be you as well. Listen, you don't have to do this alone. You do not have to spend years and years like I did stumbling around through trial and error. Instead, you can follow in the exact footsteps of someone who has already figured it out. In just a few months, you could be experiencing the same transformation Mylan did. Stability, confidence, and freedom are right within your reach, but only if you act now. Listen. If you're tired of relapsing, have lost trust in yourself, and frustrated with feeling like you'll never break free, you owe it to yourself to try the 4-step porn-crushing system, because I'm telling you guys, this is here to help you get your life back on track fast. With this program, you'll get step-by-step guidance to escape the porn's grip and to create a new, stronger version of yourself. No more time wasted. No more frustration. Just real, lasting change. The stability, confidence, and freedom you're craving are waiting for you, but you got to take action now. So if you're ready to reclaim your power and finally end your porn addiction, click the link below right now and get started today. And okay guys, if you ever wondered why the flatline happens and why you sometimes fall back into it, you can take a look at the video you see on the screen right here, as over there, I share exactly what's going on with that. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today. Consider giving me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.